As the country grapples with tensions between police and communities of color, new data indicates Latin Americans are largely missing from the national conversation, despite being the country's largest ethnic group. The reason, according to a study from UCLA's Latino Policy and Politics Initiative, is a lack of consistent data on Latino youth and the juvenile justice system. The initiative's director, Sonia Diaz, explains how that lack of data has made Latinos unaccounted for.
One of the things that is really important to recognize is that so often that data is either inaccurate or not uniform. And one of the important things for the Latino community is that it doesn't count Latinos, and Latinos are relegated to invisibility.
So for more on this, I want to bring in CBS News contributor Maria Elena Salinas. Maria, it is great to be with you. Tell us, how do researchers collect the data for this report, and what are some of their key findings?
Nice to be with you, Lana. Well, the study was conducted looking at the 3 points of contact within the criminal justice system across the states: arrest, detention, and probation. So while the racial and ethnic disparities in the criminal justice system are common knowledge, the report found that there is no accurate count of how many Latino youth have encounters with law enforcement. Therefore, there is no reliable data because when these encounters occur, they're only documented by race, black or white, not by ethnicity. You know, Latinos are the largest ethnic group in the U.S., like you mentioned, but we aren't a race. So if the only option is black or white or other, no option for ethnicity, therein lies the problem. And Lana, one important thing to note for our viewers is that while Latinos are spoken about and treated as race, we aren't. Latinos can check every box in some instances.
Absolutely. So why is it that the way that these encounters are handled don't take into account, as you say, there's a white box or a black box, and as you and I both know, there are lots of different gradations beyond that when you're talking about people of color. So why is it that there is this disconnect?
Well, the problem is that there is no uniformity in the way that data is collected. In some states, there is. Not only does it vary from state to state, but it also varies from county to county. And if we use California as an example, there are 58 counties with 58 different ways of collecting data. So while the study was conducted in all 50 states, the report really looks at the 11 states with the highest Latino population. And you know, there's some misconception about Latinos. There are so many issues that affect them, not just immigration. And this disparity in the criminal justice system is one that affects Latino youth that are 25% of all youth, 10 to 17 years old in this country, and 93% of them are born in the U.S., they're U.S. citizens.
So what are some of the consequences of this inaccurate count, and what are the authors of this study now recommending?
It affects everyone. When a Latino youth is arrested, detained, or put on probation, it could be classified as white or as African American, which can artificially elevate the number for both white and African Americans. So it really affects everyone. But this lack of data makes it very difficult to understand how the justice system impacts Latino youth, and it doesn't provide policymakers the tools that are needed to find these solutions. It continues to have them as invisible. What the study's authors are saying, what they're recommending, is that the Department of Justice, which has the total autonomy to do so, create a federal mandate so that all states include ethnicity when law enforcement has an encounter with youths, and therefore have a more accurate count and make it fair for everyone.
All right, Maria Elena Salinas, thank you.